Are going live. We are live. We're possibly live. We're picking up on being live. I am live. All right, guys. Here we are for another Houston market update. And I am going to sound like the broken record that I am. And yet, looking at the Houston market and what it's doing is just absolutely crazy. And I just realized something. Y'all are going to make fun of me. I did not change my graphics. And so those of you who are with me, man, you're with me live. You know that I am human. I am a human being, and you're going to watch me literally change my graphics in real time so that we can update what's happening, guys. Because here's the deal. Right now, what's going on in the Houston market is just it's just crazy. I would have never have predicted this, especially back when I was if we go back to the times of like right when COVID was rolling around, I would have never predicted what we're at right now. I absolutely would not have. And so if you're a consumer during this, I just want to give you an update on what it's looking like. So anybody who's a professional realtor would have been looking at this being the bottom of the market. I will tell you right now, when I was in March 11th is when we officially closed the doors to the office that I was leading, KW Platinum. So, and when I say close the doors, we close it to the everybody coming in. Our brokerage is still growing and thriving. We've set records. We own the market share. Like everything is nuts. But in March 11th, I would have said, man, we will not be able to recover from what's about to happen by the time the year ends. We just won't. We just won't be able to recover. I predicted some challenges. We looked into our budget. We zipped up our budget. We did a lot of business consultations, helped our agents really understand what the market was doing, and really pushed everybody to get into a mindset of this is going to be a huge downturn. Tighten up your belt and be ready to survive through this market shift because then you'll be able to thrive as the market picks back up. Well, here we are now at the end of August. It's the very last day of August. We're spent. Summer is gone. We're rolling into the fall, and the market is crazy, and it's crazy good all the way around. I just did a video talking about did the market create the perfect, or did COVID create the perfect conditions to be able to buy and sell real estate? And the answer is yes, absolutely yes. If you look at what's happening right now in real estate, it is a seller's market, which means I can put my house on the market and essentially get what I want, multiple offers, get the price point, get the time frame, get everything that I want out of the selling of my house. But then I can take that same money, that equity that the market has given me, and translate it immediately into an upgraded home and not pay more for the home, even though the price point, right? So the price point's more, but because of the money that I am borrowing is so cheap, the interest rates are so cheap right now, I am purchasing my future wealth at a discount. And so it's a perfect storm. COVID created absolutely the perfect storm. Okay. That's where we're at. That's what we're doing. That's what's happening. And I want to show you this week. This is why I sound like a broken record. This week is proof that the trends are trending and continuing to trend. We've got enough now, like data coming through that everything is trending down, 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 down. I said this, like, so as everything changed, because I got to back and correct my statements. March, I was like, oh man, it's gonna be perfect. Well, now I mean, March, I was like, it's gonna be crazy. Now it's looking like, hey, this is actually the perfect time to be in real estate. It's the perfect time to buy and sell real estate. Everything is perfect. And so I then, at the beginning of July, probably around the beginning of July, I said, watch, the trends are going to continue with the way that we cannot catch up with inventory, that you're going to see another point drop out of the inventory. And we saw that. So if you look at last week, we were still at 3.4 months of inventory, which essentially for you guys who are consumers, what 3.4 months of inventory means if no other houses went on the market in 3.4 months, we're done. There are no more houses for sale. That's what that means. We've seen that drop again. So if you look over here, I'm not very good at the backwards thing. You're going to see it's 3.3 months of inventory. So we've seen that drop happen. But look at this. It's pretty significant. I know these numbers don't seem crazy, but it is incredibly significant. 2,000 new listings went on the market, which just sounds awesome. Except for last week, 2,408 listings went on the market, which means inventory is still not catching up to the demand for houses. And so if you scroll all the way down and you look at that sold, I highlighted that number, 2365. So we're still not catching up. I don't know when this is going to happen, but my guess is that if we do not catch up, we will potentially see the months of inventory drop to an all-time low, which will be absolutely crazy. So those of you who are looking at this and said, you know what, I don't know what COVID is going to do. I don't know if I trust what's happening. I don't really know. I don't know if I believe in what's happening. You're kind of watching that early adopters. The early adopters really were able to gain a lot out of this positioning of the market, and you've seen a lot of crazy, interesting things happen. I've saw inventory that I would have never have guessed, never, absolutely in a million years would have guessed would have gone for the prices that they've sold. I've seen some crazy things happening for the sales price of homes, and so I just want to encourage you guys. The early adopters have capitalized on it, but here's the thing, the window hasn't closed. And I think that's the biggest thing that I want to say today. The window hasn't closed. For anybody who's still curious about can they capitalize on what's happening in the market right now, the answer is yes. The only things that we know are the conditions of today. Now, let me tell you about the two positive things that are going to come from anybody who's looking at right now. Is now the perfect time to sign to be able to sell? Did I miss my window? And the answer is no. So here are the two things. One, is that inventory is continuing to drop. And so you haven't missed the inventory because, I mean, the window, because the inventory is continuing to drop, which means you can still capitalize on the seller's market and get obviously a lot of equity into your home because of what the market's being able to give to you. So that's it. The very first thing is that the seller's market's still here. The window hasn't closed because of what's happening there. The second thing that's going on is that most people who are going to be selling their home are also going to be purchasing. The window still hasn't closed for the buying side either. So the interest rates are still at incredibly low interest rates. Now, here's the thing with those interest rates. What we are watching right now is anybody who's refinancing or looking to gain or capitalize out of their home equity to be able to do projects or to be able to gain some of that cash, you are going to start seeing the interest rates rise on a refinance, but they're working to press those down so that then they can get into those new loans, which is for those new purchases. So the balance is still heavy for the new purchases. So you haven't missed either window. Seller's market's still there, inventory still low. You can still capitalize on it, right? And so when you think about like, is it too late? The answer is no. No, it's not too late. And it's worth measuring, obviously, when you look at your equity and understanding what you can get. Now, here's a little, if there was a one, two, and then there was like a three, if there's a little three dangle hanging in there, here's the other thing that you're looking at. Right now, those who have waited, I don't know. Obviously, it's like playing the lottery. Like you win. Like anybody who, I guess the lottery is a bad example. It's more like playing the stock market. People don't buy the stock market at the perfect time. If they did, they got lucky. The people who really watch it and watch the trends, they played a little bit to see what's going to happen. They played a little bit to see what's going to happen. They use their best education of what the market's doing to be able to capitalize on it. So there are some people who may have like really won as far as the timing, but one of the things that you have as an advantage now, right? One of the things that you have as an advantage now is the fact that now we've got trends that are happening, right? So the appraisals that are going to come through, we're seeing appraisers give value to overpriced houses. Well, what we would have considered overpriced houses. So now there's trends that are being created for those homes, which means there are comps for your home to be able to hit that appraisal value and to not have any challenges. And so I think that if you're looking at right now, is now still a great time to buy or sell a home? Absolutely. The answer is yes. Absolutely, the answer is yes. I think it's going to get more difficult once we start to see those interest rates rise. I think we're going to continue to see this drop off for the inventory. The things that will correct the inventory is going to be a continued efforts of the agents. All right, so real estate agents who are helping their clients or their database understand what the process is right now to be able to sell their house. So it's going to be real estate agents prospecting for those opportunities. So if you're looking to buy or sell, it's a great time to be able to engage a real estate agent to see what your equity looks like. Um, and the new build, has to catch up. Once we start seeing inventory for the new build get on track, I think we're going to have a little bit more equalization happening. Now, I don't know when that's going to happen. I mean, your guess is as good as mine. COVID has created some wacky things in the economy as a whole, and real estate has definitely seen their share of like, would have never have guessed this was happening, and yet we're living in it, we're doing it, we're helping out people. And the other side of all this, guys, and I want to make sure and give some sort of light to it. I'm speaking of it from a standpoint of helping a lot of people who have been able to capitalize on the market to gain equity in their home and get their home sold. I want to make sure and point out there are some of us who are still struggling through the economy. Like we have been in industries that have been heavily affected. I want to make sure if that's you, if you've been in an industry that's been heavily affected and you're watching this and you're having conversations and you're seeing it and you feel like you are going to be losing your house or upside down in your house, um, explore what it looks like to be able to grab your equity out of your home and to be able to capitalize on it now versus losing everything in your house. I know that's a really hard thing and a hard conversation to have, but yet those who really, those who love you and trust you, those who are with you and are friends of yours, um, they're going to steer you in the right direction. They're going to help make sure that you understand what's happening. A real estate agent's going to give you the information that you need to understand is now the right time for me to make sure that I can take advantage of the situation I'm in, even those situations that are terrible. Can I take advantage of the situation I am and come out on the other side on top? And again, that's a hard conversation to have, but it's worth making sure and kind of pointing out. It it does suck to be stuck in a position to where you know that you may lose your home, but the market is still giving you the opportunity, just like those who are gaining their next home, their forever home. It may be giving you that head start to not just crash and burn. It may be giving you that opportunity to really rise, if you will. Let's use another analogy like a phoenix. This is your opportunity. So don't be afraid of those conversations. Have those conversations. Get people who are advocates in your life who will speak clearly and concisely with you about that. And a real estate professional can definitely help you out with that. So again, you guys are out there. If you have any questions ever, all of my information scrolls at the bottom when I have these conversations. Reach out to me anytime. No obligations, no expectations. Just whatever I can do to help you. Like this is, I want to make this process simple for anybody. I don't care if you use me or you don't use me. I just want to make sure that everybody has equal opportunity to be able to capitalize on what the market's giving us. And as I see it right now, there's still a lot of people who don't know that they have so much power in their home and in their equity. So all right, guys, y'all are awesome. This is Market Monday. I'm Randy Olive. And if you ever need anything, again, feel free to reach out to me. Y'all are absolutely amazing. And if there's ever anything I can do, let me know.